The back is the most talked about and misunderstood part of the body, and back injuries terrify people. That's easy to understand. You can hobble around with an ankle sprain or use one arm if the other one's out of commission, but back injuries totally disable you. Well, here's some good news. Most back injuries aren't very serious, and to a large extent, you can treat them and prevent them. We'll suggest how in a minute. But first, let's talk about the bad news. Some back problems can be serious indeed. That's because the backbone protects the spinal cord, that stalk of nerves that runs from the brain inside the backbone and then fan out to all different parts of the body. At the worst, back injuries can lead to paralysis and loss of body function. So serious spinal injuries absolutely require professional medical care. How do you know if you have a serious problem? Here are 4 tip-offs. If your pain is not only in your back or neck, but also radiates down your leg or down your arm or into your groin, see a doctor right away. If you have numbness or tingling or any disturbing sensations in your arms or legs, see a doctor. If you notice any sudden weakness in your arms or legs, you can't get up on your toes, for example, or your foot slaps when you walk, see a doctor. If straining, coughing, sneezing, moving your bowels gives you sharp back or neck pain, see a doctor. So the tip-offs for serious back injuries are radiating pain, numbness and tingling, sudden weakness, and sharp back pain from straining. We can't say it too strongly. Don't take a chance. See your doctor. If you don't have any of these warning signs, there's a good chance your back injury can be treated or even prevented in the first place. Most back injuries are the result of simply not being strong enough. But we're not talking about back strength. We're talking about stomach strength. That's right, your stomach muscles have to be strong enough to support your back. To begin with, the backbone isn't perfectly straight. It's actually a gentle S curve. And regardless of what exercises you do, it always returns to this gentle curve. Or at least it should. When it doesn't, or the curve becomes more pronounced, then you've got problems. Here's what happens. When you overarch, making that curve more pronounced, the building blocks in your backbone, the vertebra, pull off center. That makes the muscles around the backbone work overtime just to keep it stable. They'll tolerate that kind of abuse only so long. Sooner or later, they'll rebel. That's when the back problems begin. And people overarch their backs all the time, usually without even realizing it. For example, it's not that there's anything wrong with these activities in themselves, it's just the way they're being done.
That's right. We tell our workout people not to try to do exactly what the instructors do. Just because the instructor looks up to see how the class is doing doesn't mean it's right. Looking up like this forces your back to overarch. When you do donkey kicks, for example, your back should stay flat.
And you can strain your back from overarching when you bend up from toe touching or lifting something from the ground. Always bend your knees before lifting or after touching your toes.
Doing sit-ups with your legs held out like this forces you to use the muscles in your hips more than you would otherwise. That makes you overarch your back. The best way to strengthen your stomach muscles is not by sit-ups at all, but by curl-ups with bent knees. We'll show you how to do those in a few minutes.
Some people think they have to ride with their back straight, and straightening their back usually means throwing their shoulders back. That overarches your lower back. The correct position for bike riding is whatever's comfortable, but not anything forced.
As far as weightlifting is concerned, anytime you use too much weight, you'll arch your back. So don't heave yourself into lifting and overarch your back in the process.
There are 2 tricks to lifting. One is to increase weights gradually. If in doubt, lift too little and do more reps. And the other is to make sure that the small of your back is pressed against the bench. You may not be able to lift quite as much at first this way, but your back will thank you.
Sitting up straight doesn't mean throwing your shoulders back like this. That overarches your back. Try to flatten your back by tilting your hips underneath you like this. The motion is called a pelvic tilt. It's important to know what it feels like to have a flat back. Many of us are so used to overarching our backs that we really don't know. Lie down on your back and bend your knees like this. That's all you need to do. That tilts your pelvis beneath you and at the same time flattens your lower back onto the floor. Try it and see how it feels. It's the feeling of flattening your lower back that you want to remember so you can do it anytime you want. And if you're not sure, have a friend slide a hand underneath the small of your back and then push your back onto the hand. There, that's the feeling. I can't even get my hand out again, she's so strong. You don't have to lie on your back either. You can do the exercise standing up, for example. Simply flatten your lower back into a wall like this. That's all a pelvic tilt is. This is arched, this is tilted. So when you're standing at the grocery store or in the office or in line for a movie, just think about slightly tilting your pelvis beneath you.
So keeping your lower back flat can help prevent back injuries. There's another thing you can do. It's not quite as obvious as flattening your back, but it may even be more important. Strengthen your stomach muscles. Your backbone supports your whole body, but it needs some help too. There are two groups of muscles that provide most of this support. The ones that run along the spine, they're called the paraspinous muscles, and the abdominal muscles. Sometimes people are surprised to hear that their stomach muscles have anything to do with the back, but they do. They supply the support in front. It's the old story, everything in the body is interrelated. The muscles along the spine are usually pretty strong. They have to be just to cope with everyday living. They probably don't need to be strengthened. But as most of us know all too well, our stomach muscles can always use a little work. When they're weak, the strong paraspinous muscles tend to take over and actually pull the backbone out of shape. The result is overarching. So a good stomach strengthening program will prevent and probably treat more back problems than anything else you can do. And the best way to strengthen your stomach muscles is by doing curl-ups.
That's right, curl-ups, not sit-ups. There's a big difference. Lie on the floor with your knees up and your hands resting together across your chest like this. Now tilt your pelvis as we suggested before, press the small of your back into the floor, and slowly curl up your head and shoulders till your shoulder blades have cleared the floor, then a little bit further, don't hold your breath, and then come back and let your head touch the floor. If you're doing it right, you should feel the contraction in your stomach. And down. Count to 6 as you slowly curl up, tuck your chin in, keep breathing, don't hold your breath, slowly down. Always do the exercise slowly, making sure that your back is pressing into the floor. That's the key. As soon as your back begins to arch, it probably means you're tired and you should stop. Curl-ups shouldn't be done at all if you can't do them right. And that means slowly, with the pelvis curled upwards all the time. As you rehabilitate your back, try to work up to 5 slow curl-ups 3 times a day. Don't be discouraged if you can't do that many at first, or even later on. Curl-ups are tough. As far as your back is concerned, though, each one is worth at least 15 regular sit-ups. And don't exercise when you're overly tired. That means that extra set, one more game, or the one last run, it just may not be worth it. Stay fresh, and your back will thank you.
To help prevent back injuries, keep your back straight by learning to do pelvic tilts. Strengthen your abdominal muscles by doing curl-ups. Don't exercise when overly tired.